The tribal chief is broken. For the first time in over 1,000 days, Roman Reigns isn't standing tall in the center of that ring. He's not holding championship gold. He's not staring down at the camera with that cold, calculating look that made grown men question their own existence. No. Right now, at this very moment, the most dominant force in WWE history is laying in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if the empire he built with his own bare hands just crumbled to dust in front of millions of people. And the man who put him there? A 26-year-old monster named Bron Breakker who just declared war on everything the Bloodline represents. This isn't just another wrestling story. This is the beginning of the end of an era, and what Roman just said from that hospital room has sent shockwaves through every locker room, every social media platform, every wrestling publication on planet Earth. Because when the tribal chief speaks, the wrestling world listens. And what he had to say about Bron Breakker, about his family, about the future of the Bloodline, it changes everything. I'm about to break down every single word, every calculated syllable, every piece of this puzzle that WWE doesn't want you to fully understand. But before we dive into the chaos, if you love this family we're building here at SLAMZONE, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Because what we're about to uncover together, what we're about to witness unfold over the next few months, you're not going to want to miss a single second of it. This community we're creating, this family of real wrestling fans who care about the stories, the emotion, the legacy, that's what keeps this channel alive. Your support means everything. Now let's get into this. The footage starts rolling, and immediately you can see this isn't your typical WWE interview setup. There's no bright lights, no corporate backdrop with sponsors plastered everywhere. This is raw. This is real. Roman Reigns is sitting slightly upright in that hospital bed, wearing a simple black shirt, his hair down, no perfectly styled entrance look. His face tells a story that words can't capture. There's bruising under his left eye. His jaw is swollen. You can see the pain when he shifts his weight, that grimace he tries to hide but can't. The camera work is intentional too, close up on his face, forcing you to look directly into the eyes of a man who has carried WWE on his back for years and just got reminded that he's human. His voice comes through, deeper than usual, slower, measured. Bron Breakker, he starts, and just the way he says that name, you can hear something you've never heard from Roman before. Respect mixed with something darker. Something dangerous. You did something that very few men on this planet have ever done. You put me down. You put the tribal chief in a hospital bed. The silence that follows that admission hangs heavy. Because Roman Reigns doesn't admit weakness. Ever. This is a man who has spent years building an aura of invincibility, who has beaten Edge, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Brock Lesnar multiple times. He's the guy who ended The Undertaker's career. He's conquered legends and buried challengers who thought they could take his spot. But here he is, acknowledging that Bron Breakker, this young powerhouse who's been tearing through WWE like a Category 5 hurricane, actually succeeded where everyone else failed. Roman continues, and his words cut deeper. I watched the replay. I watched you hit that same spear I'd used to end careers, to win championships, to cement my legacy. And you took it from me. You took my move, and you drove me through the mat like I was nothing. You can hear the anger building in his voice now, that controlled fury that has defined his character for years. You stood over my body, looked at the camera, and told the world that the Bloodline is finished, that the era of Roman Reigns is over. The production cuts to footage of that brutal moment he's describing, the match from 3 nights ago that the internet still can't stop talking about. Bron Breakker, all 230 pounds of pure athletic destruction, had challenged Roman in what was supposed to be a standard singles match on SmackDown. Nobody expected what happened. The match was physical from the opening bell, these two forces colliding with an intensity that made the ring shake. Bron wasn't intimidated by the tribal chief's entrance, by Paul Heyman's presence at ringside, by the psychological warfare Roman always uses to break his opponents before the match even starts. 12 minutes into that match, after Roman had hit 2 Superman punches, after Bron had kicked out of a spear at literally one count, the place was electric. The crowd was on their feet because they could feel something different happening. Bron Breakker wasn't just surviving Roman Reigns. He was matching him move for move, power for power. The turning point came when Roman went for his signature drive-by on the outside, that running dropkick that has taken out so many opponents. But Bron saw it coming, moved at the last possible second, and Roman crashed hard into the steel steps. What happened next, people are still trying to process. Bron didn't just take advantage. He unleashed something primal. He picked Roman up, military press style, and drove him spine-first across the barricade. The sound of Roman's body hitting that steel barrier echoed through the arena. The referee was counting. The crowd was losing their minds. Bron rolled Roman back into the ring, and you could see it in Roman's eyes, that flicker of doubt, maybe for the first time in his entire championship reign. Bron circled him like a predator. Roman was trying to get to his feet, using the ropes, his hand clutching his lower back. And then Bron charged. That spear, the same move Roman has made iconic. Bron hit it with such force that Roman's body folded in half. The impact was sickening. The pin was academic. 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker had just pinned Roman Reigns clean in the center of the ring, but he wasn't done. And this is where everything changed. This is where Bron Breakker transformed from just another young talent to a legitimate threat to everything the Bloodline represents. He stood over Roman's fallen body, grabbed a microphone, and said words that will define this feud for months to come. Roman, you talk about legacy. You talk about family. You talk about being the tribal chief. But look at you now. Look at your bloodline. G's gone. Jimmy's injured. Solo turned on you. Paul Heyman can't save you anymore. Your empire is crumbling, and I'm the one holding the sledgehammer. The camera had caught Roman's face in that moment, still down on the mat, hearing every word, unable to respond, unable to defend himself. That image became the most shared wrestling photo of the week. The mighty Roman Reigns, humbled, defeated, listening to someone tell him his time is over. Now, back in this hospital room, Roman's response to those words is calculated, dangerous, and absolutely chilling. Bron, you think you broke me? You think one win, one spear, one moment of glory means you've dismantled everything I've built? Let me tell you something about the bloodline. Let me educate you about legacy, since you clearly don't understand what you just walked into. Roman leans forward slightly, and you can see the pain it causes him, but he pushes through it. The bloodline isn't about one man. It never was. This family has survived for generations. My grandfather, my father, my cousins, we've been the backbone of this industry for 50 years. You think you're the first person to knock me down? You think you're the first young lion who thought they could end my reign? They all thought the same thing. Brock thought it. Drew thought it. Edge thought it. And where are they now? The intensity in his voice builds. You hit my spear. You used my move against me. That's cute, Bron. That's real cute. But let me remind you of something. I didn't invent that spear. Goldberg used it. Rhino used it. Edge used it. You know what made my spear different? It's not the move. It's the man behind it. It's the calculated violence. It's the years of knowing exactly when to hit it, how to hit it, who to hit it on. You can copy the motion, but you can't copy the legacy behind it. If you're watching this right now and you're feeling the same chills I am, the same anticipation for what's coming next in this story, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think Roman's next move is, because we're building something special here at SLAMZONE. This isn't just about wrestling news. This is about diving deep into the stories, the psychology, the real emotion behind what makes this business so incredible. Subscribe if you haven't already, because trust me, you're going to want to be here for every twist and turn that's about to happen. Roman's message continues, and this is where it gets even more intense. You mentioned my family. You said Solo turned on me. You said G's gone. You said Jimmy's injured. You think that makes me weak? Bron, that makes me dangerous. Because now I don't have anything to lose. I don't have to protect anyone anymore. I don't have to worry about my cousins getting in the way of what I need to do. It's just me. And the last time it was just me, I conquered this entire company. The camera zooms in tighter on his face. You want to know what happens next? You want to know what the future of the bloodline looks like? I'll tell you exactly what happens. I'm going to heal. I'm going to recover from what you did to me. And then I'm going to find you, Bron Breakker. Not in some controlled environment where referees can save you. Not in a match where rules protect you. I'm going to find you in the darkest, most brutal environment WWE can create, and I'm going to remind you why I'm the tribal chief. The implications of what he's saying are massive. Roman Reigns, the calculating strategist, the man who has spent years manipulating situations to his advantage, is essentially promising to abandon that approach. He's talking about violence. Pure, unfiltered retribution. You think you're a monster, Bron? Your father, Rick Steiner, he was a monster. Your uncle Scott, he was a monster. The Steiner brothers were dogs in that ring, but they knew their place. They knew when to fall in line. You're young, you're hungry, and you don't understand the hierarchy yet. So I'm going to teach you. Roman pauses, and the silence is deafening. But here's the thing, Bron. Here's what keeps me up at night in this hospital bed. You remind me of someone. You remind me of me 10 years ago. That same hunger. That same disregard for the old guard. That same belief that you're destined for greatness. And you know what? Maybe you are. Maybe you're everything WWE needs you to be. But that journey, that path to the top, it doesn't go through me lying down. It goes through you surviving what I'm about to do to you. The footage shifts, showing highlights of Roman's career. His Shield days, his battles with Brock Lesnar, his transformation into the tribal chief, the over 1,300 days he held championship gold. The visual storytelling is showing you that this isn't just about one loss. This is about a man who has defined modern WWE being forced to confront the possibility that his era might actually be ending. I've beaten everyone, Bron. Everyone. And they all had the same look in their eyes that you have right now. Confidence. Swagger. The belief that they're different. But when that bell rings, when it's just us in that ring, that confidence turns to doubt. That swagger turns to desperation. And that belief? That belief gets shattered. Roman's voice drops lower, more personal. You talked about Paul Heyman not being able to save me. You're right. Paul can't save me. But Paul never saved me, Bron. Paul advised me. Paul strategized with me. Paul was the voice in my ear reminding me of who I am when the world tried to make me forget. But the spears, the Superman punches, the main event matches, the championship victories, that was all me. My blood. My sweat. My sacrifice. He shifts again, wincing. And you want to know the real reason I'm in this hospital bed? It's not because you're better than me. It's because I underestimated you. I looked at you and saw another young guy trying to make a name off the tribal chief. I didn't see the legitimate threat that you are. That's on me. That's my mistake. But I'm a man who learns from his mistakes, Bron. And I never make the same mistake twice. The emotional weight of this promo is incredible because Roman is admitting fault while simultaneously promising destruction. It's vulnerability mixed with intimidation, a combination that makes this so much more compelling than just a standard wrestling promo. The Bloodline's future doesn't hang in the balance, Bron. You don't get to decide that. Some 26-year-old who just got his first major victory doesn't get to write the final chapter of my story. I write that chapter. Me. And when I'm done with you, when I've reminded you and everyone else why I'm the head of the table, the Bloodline will still be standing. Stronger. More focused. More dangerous than ever. Roman looks directly into the camera, and you can feel the intensity through the screen. Bron Breakker, you wanted my attention. You've got it. You wanted to make a statement. Message received. But now you've got to live with the consequences of poking the bear. You've got to live with the reality that Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the man who has main event more WrestleManias than you've had matches, is coming for you. And when I find you, when we're locked in that ring together again, there won't be any doubt about who the real monster is. The video ends with Roman staring into the camera, no music, no dramatic production, just silence and the weight of his words hanging in the air. And here's what makes this whole situation so fascinating. Bron Breakker hasn't responded yet. WWE hasn't announced what's next for either of them. The internet is exploding with speculation. Is this leading to a match at WrestleMania? Is this about Roman rebuilding the Bloodline with new members? Is this Bron's official coronation as the next face of WWE? What we do know is this. Roman Reigns, from a hospital bed, just cut one of the most personal, intense promos of his entire career. He acknowledged his own vulnerability while maintaining that aura of dominance that has defined him. He elevated Bron Breakker by taking him seriously as a threat while making it clear that this story is far from over. And he left us all wondering what happens when these two collide again, because you know it's coming. You can feel it building. Before we wrap this up, one more time, if you made it this far in the video, you're exactly the kind of wrestling fan we want in the SLAMZONE family. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this story as it develops. Share this video with your wrestling friends because these are the conversations we need to be having. Who wins if they meet again? Can Bron Breakker actually end Roman's era for good? Does the Bloodline survive this? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's build this community together. Roman Reigns just reminded everyone why he's been the top guy for years. Even from a hospital bed, even in defeat, he commands attention and respect. Bron Breakker made the statement of his career, but he just woke up something in Roman that we haven't seen in a long time. That desperate, hungry version of Roman who had everything to prove. The wrestling world is about to witness something special, something brutal, something that will define the next era of WWE. And we're going to be here breaking it all down, every step of the way. This is SLAMZONE, and this is just the beginning.